Alright, for a while now I've been trying to explain that a cyber attack is actually more lethal than an electrical magnetic pulse. And most people don't quite grasp the severity of that or the truth behind that. So without further ado, cyber attack versus electrical magnetic pulse. Let's get started. Hello, my name is Arthur. I'm the founder and CEO of Tackleberry Solutions. We teach wartime tactics to citizens for civil defense purposes, which you're probably going to want to know very soon here. And today we're going to talk about electrical magnetic pulses versus a cyber attack. So let's talk about an electrical magnetic pulse first. If you don't know what it is, look it up. I'm not going to waste time trying to explain the overall diagrams of how an electrical magnetic pulse works. But what will the end result be? Well, 2001, Pentagon did a study, and they determined that within 1 year's time, we would have 90% casualties due to an electrical magnetic pulse. That was because of people supposedly fighting each other, the lack of knowledge and how to do things. Most people don't even know how to cook on an open flame. I mean, most of y'all probably do, but the rest of the world, the average people in this world don't even have a clue how to build a fire, let alone how to cook on it. So there's a lot of skills that have been completely lost due to technology, and when that technology is removed, that causes a lot of death due to just pure standard sickness like dysentery and dehydration and things of that nature because of the lack of sanitation in the environment. But an electrical magnetic pulse would also pretty much leave you with nothing. So that would deny our enemy tools and assets that they would have otherwise. So your phone just wouldn't work, and there'd be no way to make it work. So it couldn't be used as a listening device. Your vehicle wouldn't work, so you couldn't use the OnStar feature to track them and see where they're going, or to hijack the vehicle or anything of that nature like you can with some of the newer vehicles that are self-driving. So there's a lot of things you can't do. The other problem with an EMP is that over a period of time, people will learn to adapt, improvise, and overcome to their new environment, and they will begin to unite and unify themselves and find the enemy, and they will have one common cause, and they'll be able to drive against the enemy. At the end of the day, yeah, you're sitting back in the Stone Age, but at least you're united and working together to take the enemy out. And that would happen a lot faster than with a cyber attack. So let's look at a cyber attack. With a cyber attack, you can start hyping pandemonia. You can put out misinformation, disinformation about things like the coronavirus. Sounds familiar. You can also do a lot of other things like hack up pipelines. Wait. Yeah, that's happened. Or meat production plants like, oh crap, JBS. Yeah, that's happened too. Or you can hack the banking system, since all your bank accounts are really nothing but digits on the screen. Wait a freaking minute, that just happened a couple weeks ago too. How about that? Food for thought there. The other thing you can do is hack our power grid. Now, I've been telling people for a long time that this country's Achilles heel is our power grid. Without the power grid, we pretty much, a lot of stuff you just can't do. Matter of fact, you can't even watch this video without the power grid. So there's a lot of things that knocking out the power grid would do, and a lot of people don't have the knowledge that they used to. So a lot of knowledge would be lost because it's all digitized instead of being in an actual book form, like our manuals, for an example. At any rate, though, there's other things that you can do, like disinformation propaganda. So, for an example, look at Venezuela. Venezuela gets 2 hours of electricity a day because they're still, as a matter of fact, in a large civil war. And while they're taking their showers and filling up their milk jugs, they're also getting barraged with propaganda. So that causes hesitation in the battlefield, which will result in death of your enemy. Now, there's a more lethal aspect of a cyber attack that the average person doesn't know about, and that's what I'm about to tell you right now. Say that you shut down the power grid, say for, 3.5 days. At the end of 3.5 days, you bring it back up. Now, of course, you would make announcements on emergency broadcasting systems. You would also feel lots of propaganda and misinformation and disinformation. You would actually blame one party for doing this, say, I don't know, a bunch of conservatives, for being a part of these attacks that took place, when in fact it wasn't a conservative, it was a bunch of radical Islamics that you actually flew in from Afghanistan. So there are things that you could do like that, and you would have misinformation and disinformation, and as a result, half the country would be divided against the other half of the country because they would believe that crap that they got. They would believe the propaganda that got fueled out. But more importantly, when the power grid came back on, guess what else starts working? Your cell phone. So now they're able to ping phones. Wait, we have a group of phones here, a group of phones there. Oh, that's perfect. Now I know where everybody is and who they're friends with. Not only that, but I think we can do a strike on them. We got a group over here, let's hit them. We got a group over here, hey, we were all watching them earlier because of NSA spying. We all know about them. They're all together now, perfect. Drone strike. A lot of things you can do like that, right? All because of cyber attacks. There's another thing you can do. For those of you that are familiar with what the BFT is, let me explain to you that when the BFT first came out, it had a large problem with being hacked. It's still a computer system. Okay? The Blue Force Tracker basically tells everybody where your friendlies are. You know, you get up there, you're riding around your Humvee, you know, or your Abrams or whatever. You're out there being a big, bad American soldier, and you got this sweet screen in front of you that tells you where all your friendlies are. Hey, I got this column over here, that's all my sister platoon over there, my other guys over here, and I just tap on that thing, and whoo, look up, there's the truck commander, his call sign, his frequency, his unit and everything. As a matter of fact, I can hit that. Hey, guy, I'm over here to your left flank, 2 clicks out, check your 3 o'clock position, or excuse me, your 9 o'clock position. Boom, shoot that thing over. What's that guy do? Hey, gunner, don't shoot to our 9. We got somebody over there, friendlies. Oh yeah, Roger, I see, I'm tracking. Right? Good way to keep from having friendly fire. Yet again, there's another thing you can do to take this lethality up a notch. In the military world, we have something that's known as the BFT, and we use it to track location of friendlies to prevent friendly fire. Well, with a cyber attack, you can actually hack that system, and you can basically wipe out the screen so the only thing they can see is themselves. And then you can start sending messages up talking about, oh, you actually got enemy contact to your right. It was really it's your sister platoon. And you can start an entire firefight between the two. In fact, you can take out half your enemy force before you even step over the daggone country line. You do it from a whole other hemisphere, all through cyber attacks. You can have planes attacking our ground guys and vice versa, all because they can't see who's where or anything of that nature. So a cyber attack is actually very, very lethal, and in my opinion, insanely more lethal than electromagnetic pulse, because you can continue to keep the country divided through propaganda. You can also hack things and make things look like things that they're really not. So you can make it look like one person won an election when really it was somebody else that did it. Yeah, that sounds very familiar. Another thing you can do is you can have soldiers invade a country where driving UN vehicles and put out propaganda that these are UN peacekeeping troops. Well, no, they look Chinese, but they're UN. No, but they're Chinese. No, they're UN, and they're here to keep the peace. Sure, because looks like they're taking crap over them. They just shot my mayor in the head like 2 seconds ago. Nope. Your mayor was a terrorist. He was a domestic terrorist. They're here to keep the peace. Are you sure about that? Yep. Propaganda. So you're getting ready to enter into a world whenever you deal with cyber attacks and current history that you can't really believe everything you see. You're going to have to actually do your own homework and figure it out. So is a cyber attack and misinformation and disinformation more lethal than electromagnetic pulse? Yeah. Could it be that we're already at war and didn't know it? Yeah, we are. Yeah, that's exactly where we are.